Okay, I'm so excited about this, you guys. Welcome, welcome to our metabolism reset call. I'm so excited that you're here and that you've taken the time out of your busy schedule to come hear this valuable information. You're going to get so much out of this evening. So, if you're here to understand your metabolism, why it may or may not be working for you right now at this stage in your life, and how you can reset it safely, naturally, and effectively, then you're in the right place, okay? By the end of this call, you guys are going to learn a lot about what's going on in the body, some biological processes that are taking place, how everything works together, either for or against you, right? And some things that you can start to implement with your lifestyle, as well as some supplemental recommendations that we're going to share, and some testimonials and stories from others as well. So, you guys are in for a treat. Make sure you've got a notebook ready to take notes as we go. I am Suzanne Crowell. I'm a licensed esthetician from Arkansas. I'm a mom of 3 teenage girls, and I've spent 20 years helping people feel good in their skin again. And I have the distinct pleasure of introducing for you guys Honey Breeding, who is a nurse, also in Arkansas. She's a mom of two boys, and she is incredibly passionate and knowledgeable about wellness, research, biology. She loves every bit of it, and you guys are going to see that passion as she shares tonight. So let me get these slides up for you, honey, and we can get started.
Thank you, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited for tonight. I have been looking forward to this, just diving into things that start to change in our bodies as we age, and then some things that we can work with our body to help with that instead of against it. So I'm going to let Suzanne get these slides up, and then we are going to roll forward. Also, I love the chat connection. So you guys keep the comments coming. I'm going to be asking some questions, and I would love for you to put some of that in the comments below as we are going. Hello, hello. All right, Suzanne, let's roll into the next slide, please. So let's talk a little bit about what happens in our bodies as we start to age. And if you can relate to some of these things that we're going to talk about, I really want to hear from you guys in the comments. If there's something specifically that you've been dealing with, or maybe things that you felt in the past, we definitely want to know about it. So one of the things, and let me say this first, I know we probably have some men on the call tonight, and I love that. Some of the things I'm going to talk about are a little more geared towards women, but it's definitely relevant to both genders, both male and female. Okay. So there's kind of that magic age where we kind of start to see some things happen. For a lot of us, it's like 40 plus. Sometimes it's a little younger, a little older, but there's this common like phrase or thing that we hear, and it's just a normal part of getting older. Do you guys hear that from people? It's actually one of my pet peeves. But what if we could understand the changes that start to happen and then actually do something about them? So let's break down some common experiences that happen. So as we age, our energy sometimes starts to feel inconsistent. We may sleep a full 8 hours, but we still wake up feeling foggy or drained throughout the day. We don't have energy to make it through the day. This often ties back to hormonal shifts that happen, for sleep quality, of course, and blood sugar imbalances. And this can happen even if you are not diabetic. We know that those blood sugar spikes and imbalances really affect our energy throughout the day. Cortisol, of course, which is our stress hormone, also changes as we age, and it makes those afternoon slumps even worse. So, you get to that 2-3 o'clock period in the afternoon, you're reaching for the second, third, or maybe even fourth cup of coffee just to make it through the workday. Cravings start to increase, especially cravings for sugars and carbs. And you guys, this is not about willpower. As estrogen drops, it affects how we regulate insulin, and that can trigger even more sugar cravings, of course, as we age. We may also be eating fake energy. Do you guys know what that is? The fake energy is like reaching for the energy drinks or those sugary snacks, like whatever is the quick in the pantry or the fridge that we can get and get a little energy boost super quickly. So that comes from those cravings. An unhealthy regulation of glucose over time can lead it can even lead to reduced skin elasticity and contribute to fine lines and wrinkles and even dryness in our skin as we age. Digestion and sleep really feel off, bloating, irregularity, which becomes an issue, and food sensitivities happens as we get more decrease in gut diversity. So one of the things that I often hear is that, I used to be able to eat X, Y, and Z, and now I just can't tolerate them. I've had to remove them from my diet. And so that comes with that gut diversity decreasing. Up to 70% of your immune system is actually in your gut. And so it really impacts sleep hormones like serotonin and melatonin. And then, of course, bad sleep and bad digestion, they're just a vicious cycle. And as we go through this talk, I really hope to get across to you guys how it's all connected. One thing will lead to another. And in turn, when we improve or help to repair something in the body, it in turn leads to repair of other areas as well. And then that last one, mood swings and irritability. Emotional shifts are real. Does anybody experience that? They're not imagined, they are a real thing. And those declines in estrogen and progesterone impact mood regulating neurotransmitters like serotonin and even dopamine as we age. This can show up as anxiety, irritability, or just feeling off. I hear that a lot. I just don't feel like myself. Something is off emotionally. So what's going on, right? What's going on in our body? So let's talk about the underlying cause of all this, which is metabolic imbalance. So I think when people hear metabolism, they automatically just think weight, right? Metabolism is so much more. It's every process your body uses to create energy and to keep you functioning from your gut to your brain, literally everything. It's all connected. And I want to go into 4 pillars of metabolic health that are the root of how we feel. Okay. So the very first one being gut health. A healthy gut microbiome helps regulate hormones, reduce inflammation, and even control cravings. An imbalance in gut bacteria is linked to fatigue, brain fog, poor mood, and even autoimmune issues. And then women over 40, as we've already said, lose that gut diversity, especially when they start to enter menopause and going through menopause. The second one is blood sugar stability. So let's just talk about really quickly what happens when we eat. So we eat a meal, the small intestine breaks it down, it moves the sugar into the bloodstream. Here comes the pancreas with that response, right? Releasing insulin. Insulin is going to take the glucose and move it into the cells for energy, or we're going to store it. You have this normal spike that happens. We all have the spike, right? Because that's what triggers the insulin. So think of a curve. So as it's spiking, there is a normal to the spike, okay, to the upper end of that spike. And then it comes down and levels and planes out as insulin kicks in. So as we age, we start to lose the ability to regulate that normal response. And what we have is we're staying way too long in the high, and then we come way down below the baseline. And when we get too low, that's where those cravings come in because we're dropping way below the baseline, right? So it's a little bit of a roller coaster of blood sugar. It is a roller coaster of moods, cravings, energy, all of the things, and just really sets us on a crazy trajectory, right? So even women without diabetes often experience these glucose spikes due to stress, poor sleep, and processed food. We all probably get way too much processed food, right? We'll talk about that in a second when we talk about nutrition. But all of that together will age us faster. Repeated spikes, of course, lead to that insulin resistance, which accelerates belly fat, cravings, and inflammation. And we know those elevated spikes over and over. And y'all, this is not something that happens like instantly, right? This is repeated, elevated spikes over time really starts to wreak havoc in our body. So here's a statistic for you. Women in perimenopause experience up to a 30% increase in insulin resistance. This is even without changing their diet. So with no changes, 30% increase. And this is a quote stat from the Endocrine Society. So that is just a crazy amount of increase that happens just as we age. So inflammation is a biggie, right? Chronic low grade inflammation is a hidden driver of aging, fatigue, joint pain, weight gain. It's linked to every major disease of aging. And poor gut health and blood sugar spikes both feed it. So both of those things make it worse with the gut health being poor and then those blood sugar spikes repeatedly. And then that last one, cellular function. So this is so important, y'all. Every cell in your body makes energy through tiny powerhouses called mitochondria. So mitochondria are like the engines of the cell, right? As we age, they get damaged. Things like toxins, stress, poor sleep. See where I'm going, right? All it's connected. It's all connected. And then we literally start producing less energy. And that's why small activities can feel more draining than they used to when we were younger. So, all that being said, what can we do about it, right? What are some things that we can do about it? So, I want to say you don't have to settle for feeling less than your best, okay? You're not broken. Your body just needs support. And when we give our bodies the right tools, everything starts to work better. Next slide, Suzanne. So let's talk about, oh, let's go back one. There we go. Let's talk about biohacking. So this is like a buzzword term. Have you heard it? It's not big, hairy, scary, extreme, you guys. Biohacking literally means that we're using science-backed habits or tools to work with your body instead of against it. Okay. So let's talk about some really simple ones that we can do to help. So the very first one is movement. And let me say this, as I'm going through these, I want you to think of the word intentional because that is a big part of this is intention, doing these things with intention. So movement, I've moved a lot today. I took my kids here and there. I picked up the house. I made the bed. We move every day, but are we moving with intention, intentionally setting time to move our body? And that doesn't have to be like spending an hour in the gym every day. It could look like walking, maybe jogging if you want to get a little more resistance training, short bursts of intensity, maybe if you want to do a little more some light weight lifting. Our lifestyles are so busy that we forget to make time for movement, and a little bit of exercise every day can go and do radical things for your body in the way of improvements. The second one is nutritional tweaks. We know that our diets are just not great, even those who really try to be intentional with their diet, right? From processed foods to, once again, crazy busy lifestyles. Sometimes it's very hard for us to get the nutrition that we need. But once again, being intentional with your diet, trying to get protein with every meal, increase fiber, fermented foods, and of course, a lower sugar intake. Have you guys ever looked at the back of the labels on the foods that you buy? We got really intentional with this a few years ago in my family. I am amazed at all the added sugar in foods that we deem as healthy. And so you see how these blood sugar spikes from just our normal diet can just cause daily increases that are leading to things as we get older. Sleep hygiene, intentionally giving our body time to wind down, removing the stimulus. Okay. Once again, crazy busy lifestyles. And then we go to bed and we wonder why we can't sleep when we didn't give our bodies time to intentionally wind down. So, adequate darkness, stable blood sugar at night, not eating right before you get into the bed, added magnesium, we know that helps. And then no screens. That's the hardest one. How many guys lay in bed and, play on your phones before you go to bed? So, giving yourself 30 minutes to an hour of no screen time. And then supplements, quality supplements that support your gut balance, your blood sugar, inflammation, and cellular energy. And that's what we're going to dive into. So, a lot of products say that they can help with these issues, but what makes the ones we're using different is the science, the purity, and the testing behind them. And I'm going to turn it back over to Suzanne for just a second to talk a little bit about how we are different in the industry.
Absolutely. That was amazing, honey. Thank you so much for all of that incredible information. So, we're going to share some solutions for you guys so that you can be empowered and make some decisions for yourself moving forward. All of the supplements that we're recommending are backed by science and they're very unique in the marketplace. We have 75 plus full-time scientists on staff with research and development teams and partnerships through institutions like Yale and Stanford, for example. So everything is science and not hype. when you see the results that we share and the benefits you can obtain from these products. We also have a unique 6S quality control process that ensures that from the moment ingredients are selected, the safety, the studies, the standardization that goes into those ingredients, as well as the finished product that's going to land on your doorstep, have all been evaluated and meticulously processed to the point that we know you have the highest standard of purity and scientific backing in the products. We also have peer-reviewed, third-party, double-blind, placebo-controlled, published studies for our products, and that makes them the gold standard in the industry. So we're not just talking about products that have fillers and fluff, but we are talking about something you can confidently choose for yourself and your family, and have a, a positive feeling about as you move forward.
Absolutely. Thank you, Suzanne. So now that we've kind of mentioned the products, let's just jump right into them and talk about 4 products that are specifically geared to help in some of these areas that we've been talking about. So the very first one we're going to talk about is New Biome with our gut health support. So if our gut is unhealthy or we have an unhealthy gut microbiome, it really makes it difficult to improve in our other areas. The gut is called the second brain for a reason. Once again, we've already touched on diets and nutrition in this part of the world. And unfortunately, a lot of us have a unhealthy balance of good versus bad bacteria. So we're trying to correct that here. So with New Biome, our hero ingredients are pre and postbiotics. Prebiotics are the food for the good bacteria that's going to help the good bacteria grow and thrive. And that's where we as the host start to get the great benefits. Postbiotics are the byproducts or the substances produced by the good bacteria, which once again, we as the host get those great benefits. It has naturally sourced caffeine, 50 milligrams, about a half of like a cup of coffee. I say naturally sourced because it's coming from the green coffee bean. It's very different from other caffeinated products over the counter. But if you are sensitive to caffeine, you can get a caffeine-free version of that. It also has pomegranate in it for those antioxidants, and that's going to play a role in that cellular function that we've been talking about. Our gut health drink goes through what's called that 6S quality process, which all our products do, as Suzanne mentioned, meaning it's been researched, sourced, and tested far beyond industry standards. So you're not just getting good ingredients, you guys, you're getting the right ones in the right amounts. And that is so important. So next screen, please, Suzanne. So we've got a couple of product reviews here, testimonials, if you will. So we've got Kathy and Dawn. You can see they both have drastic decrease in waist circumference due to bloating that you can visually see here. In fact, those clinicals that we did, actually 100% of participants experienced a significant reduction in waist circumference from bloating just after one use, which was right about 1 inch. And then 93% experienced a continued significant reduction in bloating after 4 weeks, which is around 2.2 inches, which is just absolutely incredible to have that reduction from the bloating. Next slide, please. So next we're going to jump into MSmart. So MSmart, let's talk about some of those hero ingredients there. So we've got white mulberry leaf coming in, and this is clinically studied to provide benefits to the healthy response to meals. So remember we talked about the way the blood sugar works with the spikes and everything. This is going to help have a healthier response to the meals in conjunction or when we're talking about those blood sugar levels. It has gargum in it, which is a well-tolerated source of fiber that's proven to help with feelings of fullness and satisfaction from meals. And then the beta carotene is coming in with the antioxidant support, once again, helping with that cellular function. So I want to really kind of get the point across here. We're not talking about a trendy drink powder with MSmart, you guys. Every ingredient in MSmart is here for a reason and the exact amount proven to work and tested every step for purity and potency. And it's amazing. Our customers are loving this product. So next slide, please. We've got some testimonials. If this is hard to read, just take a screenshot, zoom in, read it. But you can see what customers are saying about MSmart, specifically here regarding cravings and snackings, going to the pantry less, it being more satisfied from their meals, not feeling, a couple of hours later that they need to go get something sweet. This is a repeated thing that we are hearing from people, helping with the cravings, helping with those feelings of fullness. Next slide. Okay, so let's jump into ageLOC Meta. So this is a very unique and amazing product. So this and I want you to see the word ageLOC. So ageLOC technology is proprietary technology to Nu Skin. This is one of our hero ingredients. It means that with ageLOC, we are influencing the way the genes express themselves. So we are treating the sources of aging versus the signs of aging. And that is so different from any product over the market. In fact, we have other ingestibles. We have also topical products with our skincare lines that have this ageLOC technology in it, but we're treating the sources of aging versus just the signs of aging that we're seeing. Meta is metabolism. I want you to kind of put those two words together. We're talking about full body metabolism, helping our organ systems work more efficiently. And we specifically, with this product, studied the liver and the heart. The other hero ingredient here is our anthocyanins. So anthocyanins are superfoods that are rich in antioxidants. Most adults here in this part of the world consume less than 25 milligrams of anthocyanins a day, and Meta contains 215 milligrams of anthocyanins. So we studied this product for 7 years, getting the perfect blend, a custom blend, if you will, of anthocyanins to give the max benefits. It's almost impossible for us to get these here where we live because we just don't see these foods on a regular. Things like purple rice, black currant, and bilberries. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know that I've actually ever eaten any of that. Maybe I haven't, I just don't remember. I don't know. So, what I love about Meta is that it's not just effective, it's safe for daily use because of Nu Skin's research and testing. And this is science you can trust. It's designed for real sustainable results. Next slide. So this is Coulter. This is actually Suzanne's husband. And you can see the difference in his body composition, inflammation, and the appearance of aging in his face as a result of adding Meta to his routine. So next, we are going to switch gears just a little bit, and I'm going to turn it over to Suzanne, and she's going to take over and talk about collagen and that in our body as we age.
Thank you, honey. Okay, so honey did mention earlier that as part of our aging process, we do notice effects in our skin. We may notice effects in our hair and nails as well. So we thought it was really important to include this product for you guys as well. Um, in the when you reach your 20s, you start to reduce collagen levels by 1% every year. And then once you hit menopause, that rate accelerates and you can have lost 30% of your collagen within 5 years after hitting menopause. And so it's something we really do need to support in the body. And when you supplement with collagen, you can notice benefits like increased skin hydration, elasticity, firmness in the skin, your glow, your radiance. And so we love our Beauty Focus Collagen Plus because it also has some very unique aspects to it. It's a bioactive collagen peptide with a very small molecular weight and the highest stimulatory effect of any collagen on the market. So it's going to stimulate your skin cells to start building more collagen. This unique formula has some added ingredients as well. Lutein, which is a super antioxidant, that has been found in clinical studies to protect your cells from further damage, and that includes the blue light that we're exposed to just being on our screens, any oxidative stress, pollution, and things like that that can actually counter what you're trying to do in building up your collagen. So I love that we're adding that extra safety and protective measure. And then as we get older, our skin gets a lot drier. Has anybody noticed that happening? Phytoceramides are very important to incorporate so that it builds up your skin's moisture barrier support, and you're going to notice more supple, more radiant, glowing skin and firmer skin when you incorporate our collagen into your routine, okay? Let me show you a few results. We have Donna. You can see a clear difference in her skin after 90 days. And I specifically chose 90-day results because it's something that accumulates in the body and you need to continue taking it to see those benefits begin to manifest. You can see brighter, more radiant skin, smoother texture. And then in Felicia's skin as well, the same. She looks firmer. She looks a lot younger to me. And also the redness in her skin has improved a great deal as well. And then we do have a few people on who have had some amazing experiences with the product. So I'd love for them to hop on and share. Tammy, if you're there and you can unmute yourself, that would be amazing.
Sure. How are you guys? I'm so glad to be here. My name is Tammy Edwards. I have been using the Meta and the New Biome. New Biome I've probably been using about 2 years. I am 58. I went through I have been going through menopause. Is menopause like not this forever kind of thing? I would say the last 2 years for sure. And so New Biome was the first thing I started with because I knew that if I did not address my gut health, that other things that I was trying to use were probably not properly being absorbed. So that alone helped me with like hormonal headaches. The bloating for sure helped me so much. Better sleep. Just some of those like menopausal, premenopausal symptoms helped with that. Well, then I have been taking Meta for about 3 months, and I will just say, like over the last year, as I have gone through menopause and my body has changed so much, you almost feel like your body is betraying you because you are going through so many things and don't even understand. And for me, I was working out every day. I was a very tight calorie count, like 1,200 calories a day. And I just, my clothes were fitting tighter. I mean, I just was not in a good place. I did not feel good. And so I started taking Meta about 3 months ago and began actually for me rather quickly to notice some changes. And then when M Smart came out, when was that? We got a preview July, mid-July, can't even remember the exact date. And that has certainly been a huge game changer for me. So I was the skeptic about M Smart, and I will just say, because I'm a girl who can eat when she's not hungry. Like being hungry or being full is pretty irrelevant for me. Like if I'm in snacky mode and I want to eat and I have those cravings, it doesn't matter if I'm hungry or not. So I was very, very skeptical about about M Smart really helping. But I have been absolutely blown away. The food noise really is gone. And it's a different kind of full. It's a different kind of satisfied that genuinely I'm not in the pantry. And something else, just like Honey mentioned, I never have been much of a sweet eater until menopause. And all of a sudden now, instead of craving the bag of chips, I was craving sweets, especially after dinner. After dinner, an hour later, and I'm right back in the pantry and I'm looking for something sweet. And so what M Smart has done for me has eliminated that, like surprisingly so. So the skeptic in me has been very pleasantly surprised at what's been working for me. And then again, I just feel like I am getting myself back, where I feel like I'm getting the sleep I need. I am trying to watch what I eat. I am working out and exercising. But until these products in the last few months, I still felt like I was scrambling a little bit. And I'm finally beginning to kind of feel like myself.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing, Tammy. And then Christina, are you available to hop on and share your experience?
Hi, yes. So one of the things that I love is, or some of the products that I use is New Biome and collagen. And funny story, recently with New Biome, we went on a 2-week vacation, and I have my subscription, it comes on a regular basis, but I didn't put in, like, I didn't take into consideration that I was going to leave at the middle of the month. And so I wasn't going to get all of my new biome. So anyway, long story short, I called Honey because she lives fairly close to me to get some, because I have never felt so much like my stomach, my gut has been, I mean, it's been night and day, the feeling that I have with new biome than with not, or without it. It just, I just, the discomfort is gone, the bloating is gone, and just the peace of mind that I get that I can actually eat freely and know what works to make that sensation go away. And so that is just something that I have been longing for, and I totally get it with this product, and I love it. It's just helped me go regularly also, and that's a big deal because I wasn't regular with my digestion. Collagen is another one that's been big for me. My nails are a lot thicker, and they just feel different. They're not as flaky. My hair is more, it feels and it looks healthier. Um, Again, it just, my skin with collagen, every time I would wash my face, it would just have this dull, it wasn't bright or firm. And so I get all of that, and I can see a big difference with these products that I'm just super grateful for. And I feel like these products actually do work because every ingredient is intentional and it's put there for a reason, and it's all natural. So I just absolutely love that.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Christina. That reminded me as well with collagen. I actually had an experience after surgery for my hair. It really helped me get my hair to bounce back after those effects of anesthesia, and as well as my nails. So I've loved it so much. Well, I want to share with you guys as we wrap up, there are some ways that you guys can get started with these products. You've heard some incredible stories tonight. Honey gave us amazing education and some things that we can really put into play right away. And to help support you in that effort, we want to offer you some savings on some of these products that we've shared. So we've put together a good, better, best package, and you can get back with the person who invited you, get involved with us, and be able to share and earn and help others as well. And Honey, did you have another word to leave us with this evening as we thank everyone?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, just a couple of things that I wanted to mention. The first one is that habits are different than hunger. That kind of came to mind as I was talking. I have a habit of eating popcorn with my kids when we have movie night. I'm not necessarily hungry. And so listen to your bodies as you're using these products, as you're going through the repair process. Listen to your body and ask yourself the question, am I really hungry, or is eating the habit? Okay. And then number two, give your body time to repair. Suzanne mentioned 90 days for collagen. I also recommend that for these other products. 90 days is a really good time of the evaluation process for your body to start to repair and for you to start to see or feel some of these changes. I often tell my customers, we don't get in these states overnight. This metabolism imbalance doesn't happen overnight, nor will we repair overnight. Okay, so just keep that in mind as you're going through this. Give your body time to repair, and that's it. Thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you, Suzanne, for putting this together. I'm so excited for everybody to get their products and get started.
Thank you so much, Honey. Thanks you guys
Guys,
for
this was
joining.
amazing. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Yes, you're welcome. And you guys get back to the person who shared this with you so we can help you get started right away. Okay. Thanks again for joining.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Thank
This is
you.
awesome.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Very awesome.